What's up, everyone? BATCRAFT. That's right, it's Bo here from the TV Talk podcast, and I am, oh goodness gracious, flying into the abyss. See, this is why we created a transit system, so we didn't have to do this kind of thing, and yet, here we are. I am headed into Gotham City today to pick up where we left off last time, because of course, we have been working on City Hall. This is always the line right here, where everything just doesn't load. It takes a long time for it to load. And then it comes through. Now you'll notice we've got a heart up on the tree of Gotham. I put that there. I want to get a little festive for Valentine's Day. Of course, Valentine's Day is come and gone. But you know what? The spirit of love, I think, needs to be over Gotham at all times. And so I'm going to leave it up there for a little bit longer because why not? It looks nice. But no, that's not why we're here. We're here because of City Hall. So we were working on this. We got this great front face to the building with all of these very, I don't know if these windows are going to be very useful for anybody inside the building, but they look nice on the outside, or at least one assumes. Ouch. But up here is what we are actually working on today. And yeah, so this is our voting booth. Now, as I mentioned, I'm not a redstone person. I don't know very much about redstone, and I'm about to prove it to you quite significantly. I created this contraption after a lot of tinkering in my test world, and I was very proud of it. This right here is a contraption that allows for people to come and vote. We've got green, which is generally yes, red, which is generally no, and the idea is they would come up, they'd press a button, they would get literally a vote, and they could throw it in if they wanted to vote yes or vote no. So if I wanted to vote yes, throw it in, and a vote would be counted as so, and we could kind of see what the tally is. Now, this seems cool enough. I mean, it's definitely better than what we had last season, so I'm impressed with myself from that standpoint. But I kind of realized almost immediately after building this thing that it's completely unnecessary. I mean, like, in the sense that, like, all of this hopper system to kind of drop in your vote is completely unnecessary. I could just easily like, there's no reason for this. There's literally no reason for this. This is ridiculous. We should just have a button that you press, and then it counts your vote. And it doesn't require all this stuff. And, you know, you might be thinking like, well, you know, there's nothing wrong with what you created. And you're right. That's true. Except for the fact that this whole system requires a lot of maintenance. Like, so for example, like, you know, once you're all said and done, if we want to reset the vote, someone has to come down over here and press this button right here. Until all of the votes have been removed. And that puts all of the, you know, concrete powder here. And then there'll need to be a ladder where they'll need to go up and put, basically refuel the voting system so that people can vote again in the future. So, yeah. Anyway, point is that this is not exactly the most automated system. One portion has been automated, but the rest of it has not. And pretty much all of this is completely and entirely unnecessary. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this right. We need a button right here, a button right here. We need to destroy this right here. We don't need this. 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 We don't... Do we need that? Actually, do we need that? No, we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need anything. I am so, like, I'm so embarrassed by my redstone. I was so proud of this, and then I became so embarrassed of it so very quickly. Okay, let's see. Gosh, I don't even think we need this, or this, or this, or this, or this. But it's okay. You know what? We live and we learn. Redstone is not for the faint of heart. I think that's what we need to... The real takeaway here. And it has been stated several times, I am not a professional Minecrafter. I do not know what I'm doing like those that do this for a living know what they're doing. And I think that's all it needs. I think that's it. So in that case... Yes. Okay. Great. All right. Well, we've made ourselves a voting booth. Such as it is. It's not, yeah. It's yeah. It is what it is, you know? It's not the... We're going to make it look nice. That's what it is. We're going to make it look nice. And so as you can kind of see, I made this little like walk-up platform to the voting booth. I decided to make it more kind of central as opposed to off to the side. And that way we can use these spaces for more office space type things. And then same thing over here. This can be used for office space as well. Because, you know, I think basically as we kind of get closer to our mayoral election, one of the things that's being discussed is upon becoming mayor, what roles will the mayor establish around the city? Now, there has been some concern, and for whatever reason, I have no earthly idea why. Some people are concerned that creating a mayoralship or some sort of government for Gotham City is going to lead to, the power to go to somebody's head. Now, I don't know why this would be. This doesn't make sense to me. To me, this is a public service. Putting somebody in the position of a mayor is really putting them in the position of, a public servant. And so there's really not a whole lot of power there, beyond just, caring for the city and expanding it and hopefully cleaning it up and all that kind of good stuff. And they'll have to maintain the voting booth. That is one thing that, or they'll need to appoint somebody to do so, which under the new system is a little bit easier, but not that much easier because you still got to go down here and you got to reset it like so. It's not my best redstone invention. I think the trolley might be my best redstone invention, and it's far more simple. But anyway, it is the season of love. And I would love to share with you some other projects that I am going to be working on in my base/city. I am really excited to incorporate a building that I've been kind of keeping on the back burner, mostly because I'm a little intimidated by it, but also just recently, I don't know, I got the itch. That happens sometimes in Minecraft. You get really excited about things, and then you're like, oh, I really want to see, I really want to go ahead and make it happen. So sometimes you have to kind of wait for that inspiration to strike. What is this? What is this over here? What is this? This is the League of Shadows Super Assassination Service. Wait, hang on. Wait, what? Other possible Wayne Manor. Bo, let me know, Fox. What? Wait, what? All right, so I remember me and Fox coming over here and talking about Wayne Manor and such and the like. What is going on? What is all this? All right. Okay. Looks like my building will have to wait. Let's see what is going on here with this League of Shadows Super Assassination Service Sanctum. That is a lot of S's. All right, let's see what we got here. And why on earth this is underneath a potential bill or location for Wayne Manor, I have no earthly idea. That's only mildly concerning. Surely Bruce Wayne is not associated with the League of Shadows. One of hopes anyway. Welcome, Death Seeker. You've come here because you have been wronged or need someone eliminated. The League of Shadows wants to help you. Unlike the League of Assassins, you can know our killers are invested. To have someone eliminated, you only need to rename either a netherite ingot or diamond block, your choice, and place it in the receptacle before you. It will be sent to our super secret sanctum where a League member will take the name and payment. The person you hope will die will then be dispatched. The League member will keep the payment for themselves and will rename a rose and hang it prominently in a known criminal location in Gotham with the name of the victim once they've verified the person has been killed. Should you wish to cancel the hit, you may bring another netherite ingot and diamond block and rename it to cancel, name of your victim, and so you put cancel and then their name, and then the hit will be called off. The assassin keeps the fees. Interesting. Wow. All right, so the League of Shadows is not the same as the League of Assassins. That's interesting. Now, I have no netherite ingots. That's not something that I keep on me. I try to stay away from this stuff. It's not good for you. That being said, I find this entire situation deeply concerning. Is the League of Shadows not the League of Assassins? Is this a is this a competition between two different leagues? Is Ra's al Ghul responsible for both? Could he be responsible for neither? This is, This puts us in a really, really weird position because on the one hand, I absolutely refuse to put a hit on my fellow Flashcrafters. And yet, I need to know whether or not this thing is legitimate or is this a prank? Like, is this real? I don't know what to do, except I guess the only thing a hero can do, right? I mean, we have to test this for the good of everything. Although I'm kind of curious, has anybody done this as of yet? Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne, and Will. The Waynes and Will. Interesting. Okay. This is very interesting. Perhaps in order to catch a killer, you yourself don't have to become a killer, but maybe you have to become a victim. There's a lot of diamonds. I'm giving up a block of diamonds and potentially my life for the good of Gotham City and Earth 3. Oh, and then it's gone. All right. Ooh. I feel like I just felt a chill. Okay, well, a hit has been put on me. All right, so I've put out the hit on myself. And so therefore now I guess I'm going to use this as a means. Yeah, so I just need to see who tries to kill me. And then that'll get us the information we need that we can potentially track it back all the way to Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, this is a great idea. It's even better if they're unsuccessful at killing me, right? Like, that's the idea, is that they're going to try to come for me and they're not going to be able to get me. Wow. Okay, look, there's Fox's base right over here. That is super close. I don't think I realized how close to Gotham that was. I've been kind of thinking about it lately. Like, what if, like, the city kind of wrapped around this little bay area right here? And, like, originally I was just going to kind of, cover this up with a street, but now I'm kind of wondering if I was to curve the street, what would that actually look like? That might hurt the building that I wanted to put right here, though, so maybe I extend it and then curve it? I don't know. This is something, problem for another time, because actually the building that we're going to make today is actually located right over here. Which, now that I know that this is so close to the city, I'm kind of wondering if this is actually the reason all these maps might kind of be responsible for that weird load time whenever we come in. It's kind of worth it, though, just because that's a super helpful big global map. So I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. Okay, but the building that we are going to work on and hopefully get pretty close to being done with today is the City of York pub. Now, this is a really awesome pub that can be found in London. I was there several years back for a speaking engagement and decided to stay a couple extra days because, hey, how often do you go to London? Unless you live in that general area, which I definitely do not. And so I thought, it'd be a great time to explore the city and find some new places. And lo and behold, like half that city is named after me. Kind of, because York, right? Anyway, point is that there's a lot of different pubs and places named after York because, of course, the British family and such. Anyway, point is they've got a really, really awesome pub there that I enjoyed immensely. And I've always wanted to go back. And I don't know when I'm going to be able to go back to London. We don't make plans in the current era. We definitely don't make travel plans in the current era. And so I'm going to bring the City of York to me here in New York Town. And that is what we're going to be doing today. So, we will get started on it. We'll get a good night's sleep, and then we'll get started on it, and we will see what all we are able to accomplish. Let's go. It's always interesting to say these things are done because obviously the full building's not done, but I mean, whoo, look at that thing. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. This turned out so well. I am probably more proud of this than I am any other build that I've ever done. This one, yeah, I think that a long time ago when I was considering doing a city of kind of some of my favorite places, I think the City of York pub was actually the first building I kind of tinkered with to see what it would look like in Minecraft. And I got to tell you, I think I nailed it. I mean, like, it as close as you can possibly do in Minecraft. I think I nailed it. And I got to tell you, after all that work, oh yeah, there's just something I need, and that is a nice lukewarm British beer. And we got nothing. Yeah, the interior is not done. It's literally just the front portion of the building. But we're going to fill all this out. And as you can kind of tell, there's going to be definitely some brewing going on here at the pub. So I am really, really stoked. Yeah. Kind of up on the screen is kind of something, an image for kind of comparison. You can kind of see the similarities, kind of what we were going for. And that's really the trick. I mean, just like with the Hotel Le Pavillon, it's really more just the idea of the place. And I think overall, this really came through super well. I am very, very proud of this. So there you go. The City of York pub now in New York Town, which is it's just super appropriate. And it's adding to our kind of main street walkway too. We're going to have a building right here. We're going to do something, I think, a little different right here. I've been thinking about this. This is going to be the Mckittrick Hotel from New York City that's going to find its way here. And right over here, I'm thinking about actually doing like maybe a little mini park, because as I pointed out when I did the Hotel Le Pavillon, I really, I worked on these kind of side portions right here, and I don't want them to be covered up. And so I think it'd be kind of cool if they could be seen. And I actually played around with that on the other side. You may have noticed this already. There's kind of a very long stack. I'll talk about that in a second. But this right here, we now have a coffee shop in New York Town, growing cocoa beans and being kind of awesome. So I love this idea of kind of my cocoa bean farm being a coffee shop. That just seems to make sense to me. And I really had fun with this little, I haven't come up with the name of it yet, what our little coffee shop is going to be. I think it's pretty clear what it's based off of. I mean, any kind of corporate coffee is kind of based off of the same type of color scheme at this point. But regardless, I think it turned out really nice. And so as I mentioned, I wanted to kind of play around with this back area being accessible. And so I kind of gave the coffee shop a little back patio with an umbrella and a little table to sit at, kind of a closed off wall right here. So you do have kind of the privacy. It's kind of clear what's the coffee shops and what's not. And yeah, there's even a little window back here. So you could, theoretically come into the shop, you could place your order, you could come sit outside over here. And then once it's ready, you could actually just come over to the window and pick it up right here. I just thought that was a kind of a cool little feature. And so, yeah, this is a nice little spot. It's one of the most, it gives kind of a feeling of life in the city to some extent. I think probably one of the only places right now that gives a sense of like life in the city. And so I'm really proud of how this turned out. And it showcases our little arches right here at the Hotel Le Pavillon. Now, those magma blocks that we need for the mob farm, I'm considering maybe like doing another line of quartz blocks just to kind of cover it up a little bit, just because it is so jarring right there. Or I don't know, maybe I could maybe cover up these windows in some form or fashion. I'm just not sure. But regardless, that is kind of the way it is right now. It's, mildly distracting, but for the most part, I think this is pretty good. By the way, this little coffee shop in particular, I'm so proud of. This just kind of happened naturally. I wasn't quite ready to work on a bigger project yet, and I just had this little spot, and so I thought, let me just throw up this coffee shop, and yeah, this is pretty cool. We might need to open up a little coffee franchise, right? We might need to franchise this little coffee biz and bring it to Gotham City. Corporate district needs a coffee shop. You got all those big wigs coming in for work, and they need to get their caffeine fix. So we might need to be able to hook them up with a little bit of a little coffee franchise. Haven't come up with a name yet, so we'll we'll figure that out. This right here is going to be, I think, the first real skyscraper that our city is going to have. And we won't be touching that today, but I will show you a little bit of a tease here. And that is that it's going to have a very unique shape. And that is the shape. Oops. That is the shape of a Y. You know, which makes sense because, you know, New York town. We got Y's, we got the Yorks, we got, you know, New York City places. We got York, you know, we got the city of York pub. We got it all. So why not? That's really the question. Why not? All right. So y'all, I know this is kind of, it seems like a shorter video today, but at the same time, I promise you, this is not a short video at all. These time lapses take a large amount of time, especially something like this that kind of required me to kind of work it and rework it a few times. But regardless, that's what we got going on this week. Hope you've enjoyed this. I think for next week, we're either going to do this building right here, if I can get enough bricks, because it requires a lot of bricks. We do have a lot. We've been trading up and getting a lot of good bricks coming in and all that kind of good stuff. So we're good there. And I've been kind of farming emeralds in the meantime to make sure that we can have what we need. But yeah, we may go ahead and build this out because that will allow us to start working on the interior for the City of York pub. And then we can kind of start clearing this out. And then we need to move our sheep, which, as I pointed out in a previous episode, some of them have died. And yeah, we've just been kind of missing the sheep that we need. So I'm thinking that might be what we work on next week. But absolutely no guarantees, because I am just not sure. We will just have to see what time will tell. I know we've got a meeting with our fellow heroes coming up, so hopefully that will also be included next week, because there has been so much going on in Gotham. The ne'er-do-wells are out and about and doing all kinds of stuff. Oh, you know what? As I'm looking over my shoulder, I just had an idea. Okay, so this is one last little thing before we sign out. As I'm kind of thinking about this. So we got our prime moving truck back here. And since moving into the city, kind of deep into the city, this bad boy does not get nearly the love that it deserves. We really need to move this into the city and kind of find a good spot for it. I think it'll probably be right over there-ish, but I'm just not 100% sure yet. But also, when I built out this road, this kind of temporary road, kind of this temporary bridge, my thought was that it would curve that way. But now I'm kind of thinking it might be kind of cool if it actually curves this way, kind of goes over here. It would be a little bit above these lights. And that way, when you kind of pull onto Main Street, you kind of see a highway right here. Yeah, that could be kind of coolish. And maybe even not Optimus. Our prime moving van could be up there in the distance. That might be something. I don't know. We'll think about that and see. But anyway, like I said, that is going to do it for us for this week. I hope you've enjoyed our City of York build that we've got going on right here. Like I said, this is probably, between the Orpheum and the City of York, the Hotel de Pavilion, this is coming together in ways that I could not have dreamed, or at least I feel like I could have only dreamed. This is, yeah, I'm just super proud. This is really coming together so well. Oh man. Okay. And that's the thing. It's not even just that. We've got over here the condo building as well, which has had some updates. I've started kind of laying out, putting up the walls and all that kind of good stuff. This has just been some spare time, free time type deal. But, man, okay. All right. I'm kind of just gushing over how proud I am about all these things turning out. But regardless, I think it's allowed when you've created something as awesome as we've got going on in this city. Hopefully you have enjoyed it as well. That is going to do it for us for real this time. Be sure to check out the TV Talk podcast, tvtalk.fm. That's going to do it for me. But until next time, goodbye.